Welcome back to the Plowboi podcast. We've been gone for a minute, man. Feel good to be back with my familiars. You know what I'm saying? We had been displaced for a minute, been dealing with recovery from Hurricane Ida, man. Ida took a big chunk out of our time.
The Category 4 hurricane striking Morgan City and Houma, both just feet above sea level. We arrived just hours before landfall to find some. And then it came.
The rain only picking up, and you can feel those clouds making their way over Houma right now. We still have hours to go before the eye passes over us.
Ida didn't waste time, tearing into buildings and homes, knocking down power lines, and proving itself as the strongest storm to hit the state in more than 100 years. Tonight, Ida's worst may be starting to fade, but its impact is only beginning.
Oh, as far as me personally, took a loss with it storm, man, but you know what? God is good. He brought us all through safely. I appreciate everybody's prayers and thoughts, you know what I'm saying, along this time that we've been going through, man. Just, you know, no service, dealing with no electricity, you know what I'm saying? We ain't been able to get on, but we back. I got Kabiz here with me. I got that DOC and Young Buck down below already. Them Plowbois are back again. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Think it's best I put my heart on ice, cause I can't breathe. I'ma put my heart on ice, getting the best of me. Heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my
sleeve. So we jumping right off into this virtual thing, man. They doing virtual in some places as far as school goes. They was in virtual for a long time last year as far as the kids go. Y'all think that's where schools are headed in the future? What you think is positive about virtual school, man? Kabiz, I'm gonna start with you, man, because I know you took some online classes recently, and you graduated in that. So, then give us your viewpoint on virtual, because I think online classes and virtual go hand in hand. You know, do you think that's gonna be the wave of the future? Let us know.
Man, yeah, really tell you the truth, I feel like this is what they was trying to do in the year 2000, like with the Y2K, how they had the computer. It was like everybody got to get on a computer, you know, to reset the computers and stuff like that. I definitely feel like it's the wave. Even with going to school, I feel like in the future, they're not going to have like paper and pen tests. You're going to have to be computer savvy. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to be a change. As far as like right now, like you said, I went to school online. I was taking class. I failed. I flunked out of college twice. You know what I'm saying? But I was going to class. It's like different people learn different ways. So some people gonna be able to just go sit in the class, listen to the teacher, and do their work like that. Some people got to work at their own pace and, you know, get the work, do it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's good. I don't think it should just completely replace school, because it's more to school than just going and sitting in class. But for me, because when I went online, I graduated. So, I mean, it just really depends on the person, but I think it's a good way for some people that learn different.
So you don't think it's going to necessarily replace conventional schooling?
I think it will eventually. Not right now. Not right now.
In the future,
but probably in like 20 years, because like I'm saying, I feel like this is what they wanted to do with Y2K. How they was making such a big deal about the year 2000, Y2K, the computers and everything, but not enough people was on computers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like probably 20, really maybe like 40. They're gonna try again in 20 years and see where it's at. And I still don't think it's gonna be there, but probably in about 40 years, it's gonna be. If you go to school, you're gonna have to be on a computer. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like everything, every type of job, you're gonna have to be on a computer.
Yeah, yeah. I think it goes hand in hand now with kids, with technology in and of itself, man. Look, my daughter started school probably 2 weeks before the hurricane hit out here, bro. So she done missed some more school time. They ain't back yet. They ain't back in school yet. They school was destroyed. So she's gonna be going to another school for half a day. I guess a lot of it gonna be done virtually because she ain't gonna be spending as much classroom time as she was before, man. And like you say, they're preparing for that in many ways. Online classes, it's just a wave of the future with technology. The way it's going, you gotta be able to learn virtually. A lot of the training that I do at my job, man, is all virtual. A lot of it is done through the computer, reading and getting the qualifications that way. But it does not substitute everything. Hands-on learning to me has its place, and it's definitely something that we can't let go of, because some people don't learn by just reading something or watching something be done. They actually have to be in a classroom setting, getting instructed, getting help at different levels, and that's something that they don't get readily available to them in virtual classes. That's my little chime on it. Will it be done in the future? That's yet to be determined as far as will it go completely to that. But I do think, like you said, this new time when they was with dealing with COVID and while they was on virtual, gave them a little taste of what the future can hold. Doc, you have a daughter that is getting ready to embark on a virtual related school, man. You speak on your thoughts on virtual, and do you think that's going to be the wave of the future?
Oh yeah, I agree. That's definitely the wave of the future. And my daughter, see, like the pandemic, as I call it, because it was all planned to get Trump out of office. But they started that, and then a lot of teachers just went on and broke off, man. You can go online, man, and it's like 1,000 little online courses in different states. She can go online and get your GED in a matter of months, So, and I was shocked. I didn't have all them options when I was coming up. You quit school, you had to go to work offshore or work in the rice farm. But now these kids can still go to work and go online and get their GED. If you look at a lot of other communist countries like China, that's what the kids do. They're doing that virtual learning, and plus they make them work in factories, at Nike factories and stuff. It's definitely the wave, bro. I think unless you playing sports or, the 4-H and all this other stuff, school is for you. But if you're not, I say, hey, go online and get it. As my daughter is personally not a morning person, so getting her up in the morning was a big problem. It was a big fight every day. So this online thing, it falls right into her play, because you can go in, log on in the morning, get your courses, get it knocked out the way, and do it in the evening when you got the energy. A lot of people with low energy in the morning, and stuff. And she's definitely low energy in the morning. Some people call it laziness, but I call it low energy. But yeah, if you look at all the online courses and where it's headed, oh yeah, that's definitely the future.
I agree, man. It definitely has its place, and like you said, we don't want to give nobody no labels as far as being lazy or taking an easy route out. We know one thing: you got to learn the material to pass the test. How you learn the material is based on you and your internal motivation. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody do the work for you.
Say one more thing. You think about what they actually teaching about Christopher Columbus and a lot of BS, a lot of this stuff, and now they got this, what they call it, where they don't want the kids to learn Black history or nothing like. What does they call it? I can't think of the name of it.
I'm not sure about that one. What when they don't want you to learn?
It's two different ones. Critical race theory, that's what they want to try to change. They want to tell it the way they want to tell it. Right. But they like the legislation, the Congress, they voted to take that out. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Sacagawea, all of that. They took it all out the class. So you're not really learning about none of that in school.
Yeah, that in and of itself is a whole nother podcast, partner. Critical race theory is deep, and that's something that can be addressed. But regardless of that, on topic, virtual learning. Kenny, give me your thoughts whether or not it's beneficial. Do you think it's going to be the wave of the future? Would you want that for your kid? Give me your thoughts.
Man, it is definitely beneficial for certain aspects of life, and it actually can fast track learning, and it brings learning to a more convenient place for you. If you can't, say if you got a job, you work full time, or if you got, kids to raise, you got things to actually do. But when you a 15-year-old with no job, and right now I'm thinking more like, okay, we got a pandemic. I can understand the sickness. Nobody want to spread spread any COVID to anybody. I can see it beneficial for that, like separating the kids to not to prevent the spread of COVID. But other than that, I don't see a true benefit for no teenager of no virtual learning, man. I mean, those are critical years of your life where you need to learn people skills. You need to learn how to get up early in the morning. Like, you need to learn how to go to first. Anybody can get up. Everybody can be a morning person if you go to sleep early enough. Like, it's just the way the body works, the way your clock works. You can only sleep for so long before you're gonna get up. If you stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to get up at 7. It's just the way it works. You go to bed at 7 in the evening, you're gonna wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning ready to go. So, do I agree with that? Nah, I just feel like you kids need to be interacting with other children, because that's also builds workplace character. It's going to school, getting up, being able to do those things. I mean, if you're gonna go get a GED, a virtual GED, but you don't know how to get up and go to work, then what is a GED gonna do you? That school builds a fundamental. It's building blocks to something bigger. Man, school is so easy. Like that is like now that I go to work and I do some of the shit I do. Like, I just think, man, school, sometimes I used to think that was hard, and I could look at kids and be like, man, you ain't got a damn clue. Like, man, it's just certain things. I can go on and on about that, but just being an adult and doing things having to do shit on your own, having to go to work and make yourself motivate to go accomplish just daily tasks, man, cleaning up after yourself, picking up taking the kids places, just adult chores that you got to do, man. That's all building blocks, and I don't feel like a virtual learning at home is gonna do anything but put you into more trouble. And I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give y'all a great example. So I tore my ACL my senior year of high school. So for the first entire semester, the first whole half of the year, I was on homeschool, and I was on homeschool. It was very easy. The guy came maybe like once or twice a week. It was like 2 or 3 hours of studying, man. And I had so much time on my hands to get into other shit, to, weed and all kind of this stuff that I really didn't need to be getting involved with. That time at school, if I would have been in a classroom, which I couldn't because I had a knee injury, but it was just an example of like, when you at home, your parents got to go to work. They can't watch you all day. It's just a kid's brain. We just talked about the same thing hand in hand with R. Kelly. You got too much time. A kid don't know what they really getting themselves into at 15, 14 years old. So they easily influenced by damn near anything. So to not be in a classroom structure amongst a teacher, somebody telling them what to do, like that's basically like working for somebody, like an employee. You need to learn those, those traits. A coach telling you, hey man, you need to work harder. A coach chewing on your ass. It's like you might have a supervisor and you might mess something up. Your supervisor might chew on your ass, and you gotta learn how to take them. And people are like, well, I ain't kissing no ass. Yeah, but you fucked up. They telling you because you messed up. So you need to learn how to.
So you got a
character.
con and a pro, and you definitely got more cons involved in as far as virtual learning go. You gave some benefits, man, and you definitely gave some things that it could take away from the learning process. It has its place. Like I put, man, you know, virtual can be a blessing. It has its place, but unless that person is motivated, which we know, and we've all been there as younger adults, younger kids, that motivation factor, it has to be drilled in them because they don't see the benefit of getting the education early on. You know what I'm saying? They don't necessarily see the reward that can have on their lives when it starts. It's like an investment, anything else. You're not gonna reap the investment as soon as you put something into it. You know what I'm saying? You got to see that thing mature. You got to see that thing grow. And the only way to do that, like you said, is to be nourished and to be watered and to be in that setting where it can receive that, you know. But as far as virtual goes for someone who is motivated, someone who has the skills to want to do the things that they've set out to do, then it could possibly be a blessing, like you said, as far as them having a lot more time to do other things that they may need to do. B-Dot, we gonna jump on to you, man. I know you came in a little late, but I want you to answer this question for me real quick, and we're gonna move on to the next one, dog. Does virtual learning supersede the traditional, conventional classroom setting to learn? Is it better? Do you find it's gonna be the wave of the future, or should we stick to what we've been doing? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, that's a lot of question right there. But I listening to what Kenny just said, I agree 100% with the fact that it's a foundation that's built with the old school mentality or the old school method, right? So 100% I agree, saying that children learn something by doing it that way. But here's the big but, and here's what the second part or third part of your question was: is it the wave of the future? We talk about this all the time about how times are changing, how things have changed, and I think what's happening is we speak from the way the world works before us and in our lifetime getting to a professional level. But what I think that is being established by the powers that be is and we talk about this all the time, it's a whole new world. And so, although we talk about adapting to virtual learning is going to be a lot more difficult for us and prior to us than the children of today. Because the world is that's gonna be that type of world. I think we're gonna see less and less of the structured school setting, and I think the powers that be know that the world is moving in that direction. But it's just like everything else; they can't just come out and tell you that. That's just gonna be a movement in that direction. But we speak from where we sit and the way we grew up and the way it works for us and the way Papa and our daddies and our mamas, all of that stuff was established, and we know the benefit of going to work every day is just like is what we learn in going to school every day. But these kids now, man, the world gonna be so different when we gone. That virtual shit gonna be the only thing left. There ain't gonna be I don't think it's gonna be real school. Ain't gonna be no school buses. Ain't gonna be no traffic stops and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know, and I'm saying that to not disagree with what Buck was saying. I agree with everything from the establishment of a good person and a good foundation from the way we went to school. But in the new world, man, that's gonna be like going back into them the slavery, not the slavery, but and it was segregated schools, like the old schools of the past where you didn't have no books and it just looked like
segregated schools right now.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be well. Now you bring up a good point right there, Kabis. If it's gonna be some traditional styles, it's gonna be community based. It's not gonna be like public school and stuff like that. It'll probably be something small scale in neighborhoods where all the kids in a certain neighborhood go to the same building and go to what they call a school. But that shit gonna be different, man. It's gonna be different.
Times are changing, fellas. Times are definitely changing, man.
You know, you got people working from home now.
Yep.
Like my dispatchers and everybody, they all at their house. The truck drivers, we the only one that's actually performing the duties of work.
Right.
Them guys that tell me where to go get the loads, they are actually at home playing with their kids. They not interacting with nobody but their children and the truck driver and stuff like that. So that's
without a doubt, man. The fact of the matter is times are changing. The question at hand is, will it be for the better? And we've yet to be determined. It's yet to be determined. So time will tell. We gonna be part of that. Our children and our children will also. So, you know, raise them up the right way, so they will not depart.
Plowboy, you ain't no city boy. Yeah, you were born with dirty hands. Yeah, you a plowboy, and you're thinking silly boy. Just trying to make you understand. Yeah, you a plowboy, and you're thinking silly boy. Just trying to make you understand. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching Plowboy Podcast, episode 9. Stay tuned for more topics from the Plowbois. Tell us what topics you'd like to hear us talk about next.